It is the third in the series U1 to U9. The U3 was decommissioned in 1964 and towed to Kockums shipyard in Malmö in 1965. It was donated to the city of Malmö in 1967 and inaugurated at the museum in 1969. The first attempts to build submersible vessels began in Holland as early as 1620. The Swedish Navy launched its first submarine in 1904. At the beginning of World War II, the Swedish Navy had 12 submarines, most of which were obsolete or in poor condition. So it was decided to manufacture a new fleet of submarines, including those from the series U1 to U9. The U3 was built in Karlskrona in 1940, and it was launched in 1942. Instead of using rivets, the submarines were welded together completely. This construction allowed the submarines to submerge to depths of 100 meters. The U3 was never in direct conflict, but the Navy was always prepared to defend the country. Every year the U3 would shoot up to 100 blank torpedoes during military exercises. Once the empty torpedo shells floated to the surface, they were then collected and reused. The crew worked in 4-hour shifts. That is, 4 hours of work and 4 hours of rest, during which they ate and slept. At any one time, half the crew was working and the other half was resting. The crew consisted of 4 officers, one of whom was the captain, 7 non-commissioned officers, and 19 enlisted men. All of them had their specific duties on board, but if any one of them made a mistake, they could all face death. This fused the team together and created a unique cohesion in which everyone depended on each other. The crew's uniform consisted of a woolen sweater and long johns underneath their workers' overalls, occasionally with a jacket on top. The temperature could fluctuate between 7 degrees Celsius at a depth of 30 meters and up to 35 degrees Celsius at the surface on a hot summer's day. While submerged, the exhaled breath of the crew condensed on the walls and dripped down onto the men sleeping in their bunks. The machine room included a small kitchen area of 1 meter squared and the toilet. The user had to carefully follow a list of 13 instructions, or the excrement could be flushed back into the submarine. The result was that the crew often went as long as possible between toilet visits. There were 2 chefs, and according to many crew members, they were considered the most important individuals on board. Good food made it easier for the crew to stay positive. There were many meals, including breakfast, lunch, a tea break, dinner, supper, and there was always coffee for the day watch. It was difficult to maintain good hygiene because there was neither a fridge nor a freezer on board. Hot water had to be heated on the stove, and a lot of kitchen necessities were missing. This is where the torpedo crew worked, but also where the rest of the crew spent most of their free time. Everyone shared one small wash basin with cold water. After 10 days inside, their hygiene was not ideal. The forward compartment